कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Bhagavati Vasudha Devidasi from Mangalore, India. Please forgive me for stopping all of you from ecstatic chanting. Let us move on to the next part of the session. I'd like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name given by Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in portions to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May you know who are joining the call today.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज अरविंद दास फ्रॉम शिकागो हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Avindas Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Prabhuji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjari Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. This is Yashmati Priya Devidasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, is there anyone who would like to introduce in the call today?
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay. I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 8.2.6. So before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for the brief introduction. Hare Krishna Mataji. over to
Hare
you.
Krishna Mataji, please accept my pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Here is a brief introduction about today's speaker. We are so happy to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji on our call today. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004. He earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010 and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and in corporate environment. He is a teacher of Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhava courses. He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here was a brief introduction about today's speaker, Mataji. Now I will hand over the call to you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for that brief introduction. Till Prabhuji joins, if anyone would like to introduce themselves.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept our humble obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. So we are really fortunate to have you on this Bhakti Sangha conference call. We are just done with the introduction, Prabhuji. Today's verse is 8.2.6. You can please take over, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji, thank you all the devotees for this opportunity to serve. We begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashantyade Shatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. We are continuing our discussion from Canto 8, Chapter 2, entitled Elephant Gajendra's Crisis. Verse number 6 today. Yatra Sangita Sannadai Nadad Guham Amarshaya Abhigarjanti Harayaha Shlagina Parashankaya. Translation. Because of the resounding vibrations of the denizens of heaven, singing in the caves, the lions there, being very proud of their strength, roar with unbearable envy, thinking that other lion is roaring in that way. Purport. In the higher planetary systems, there are not only different types of human beings, but also animals like lions and elephants. There are trees, and the land is made up of emeralds. Such is the creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung in this regard, Keshava Tuya Jagat Vichitra. My dear Lord, my Lord Keshav, your creation is colorful and full of varieties. Geologists, botanists, and other so-called scientists speculate about other planetary systems. But being unable to estimate the varieties on other planets, they falsely imagine that all the planets but this one are vacant, uninhabited, and full of dust. Although they cannot even estimate the varieties existing throughout the universe, they are very proud of their knowledge and they are accepted as learned by the persons of similar caliber. As described in Bhagavatam 2:3-19, Shva Vidvarahushtakrai Samsuta Purusha Pashu. Materialistic leaders are praised by dogs, hogs, camels, and asses, and they themselves are also big animals. One should not be satisfied with the knowledge imparted by a big animal. Rather, one must take knowledge from the perfect person like Shukadeva Goswami. Mahajano yena gata sapantha. Our duty is to follow the instructions of Mahajan. There are 12 Mahajans, and Shukadeva Goswami is one of them. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahlad, Janako, Bhishma, Vali, Vayasaki, Vayam. Vayasaki Shukadeva Goswami. Whatever he says, we consider to be factual. That is perfect knowledge. Hare Krishna. This is a wonderful discussion going on in which Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami, they are doing such a interesting discussion. It began in the second canto. Parikshit Maharaj, he asked many questions from Shukadeva Goswami. And in the course of conversation, he asked about the Manvantaras. Please tell me about the various Manvantar. So Shukadeva Goswami started the description through the conversation of Maitreya and Vidurji. That conversation went on for three cantos. Third canto and fourth canto, that was the description of Maitreya Vidur Samvad, and that described Swayambhuva Manu and the dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu. In that also, Priyavrata dynasty is remaining. Fifth canto goes in that. So three cantos, they go by in description of just Swayambhuva Manu. And then there was slight deviation from the discussion in the sixth canto, and then seventh canto came up with Narasimhadev and Prahlad. In the beginning of eighth canto, Parikshit Maharaj is wondering, I asked you about all the 14 Manu. You have spent three cantos in describing just one Manu. What about the remaining 13? So in response to this, Shukadeva Goswami is describing various Manvantaras. and the Manvantara avatars in every Manvantar. As we know, in the second canto, it is described Manvantara, Manudeva, Manuputra, Sureshwara, Rishayo, Amshavatarascha, Hare Shadvidam Uchyate. In any Manvantar, 6 personalities, they come as the expansions of the Lord Himself. Manvantara, thus ruling in every Manvantara, the Manu, the ruling Manu. Then Devatas, the predominating Devatas. Manuputra, the sons of Manu. Sureshwara, Indra. Rishaya, the Saptarishis, and Amshavatar, the avatar of that Manvantara avatar. So these are the incarnations in every Manvantar. So what Shukadeva Goswami is doing, he is just describing various Manvantar and the prominent features in every Manvantar. So in the previous chapter, it was described by Shukadeva Goswami that in the 4th Manvantar, Tamas became the Manu. And Tamasa, in that Tamas Manvantara, Supreme Lord appeared as Hari and protected Gajendra, the king of elephants, when he was attacked by a crocodile. So as Parikshit Maharaj heard about this Gajendra, in the 2nd chapter, Parikshit Maharaj, in the last verse of the previous chapter, Parikshit Maharaj asked, can you please describe about Gajendra in detail? What is this story all about? So in response to this, Shukadeva Goswami is now describing the whole story of how Lord liberated Gajendra. And this section is the description of Trikuta mountain, where this entire pastime is happening. And this particular verse describes the varieties of animals and various types of plants and other beings which are there. The Lord's creation is so very wonderful, as Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Keshava Tua Jagat Vichitra. This entire universe is very, very wonderful, astonishing. And the varieties which we see in this world, a devotee, when he sees or she sees a variety in this universe, a devotee is very, very amazed, remembering the glories of the Lord. How Lord is so very wonderful. How he has made such a wonderful creation, full of such varieties. Materialists, they try to enjoy the varieties. A spiritualist, a devotee, tries to engage the varieties in service of the Lord. That is Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Kshayan Yathaham Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. A devotee knows that whatever is there in this material world, it is given by Krishna so that it can be used in service of Krishna. Nothing else. And that is the only thing which impels the devotee to work in this world. Otherwise, people, they keep on inquiring about so many things in the world. When they see varieties, when they see anything, they start inquiring. Our inquiries basically define us. Whatever we inquire, it is showing who we are. Srila Prabhupada would always say that everyone in the morning when they get up, they start inquiring. And inquiry begins with asking about the basic requirements: food, sleeping, enjoyment, defending. Srila Prabhupada would say that the birds are also inquiring. As soon as the sun rises, they start chirping. What are they asking for? They're asking for where is the food. So this variety of the world which Prabhupada is describing in this purport as so very wonderful. This variety creates the desires And that desire creates inquiries. I want this. How to get this? I want to enjoy in this world. And people in today's day and age, they inquire about, the prominent inquiry, the news channels, they are only discussing about the politics, sports, entertainment, about how one can live a better life. It is a famous saying, seek and you shall find. If we are seeking things of the world, what can we expect to get? It depends on what we are inquiring for. Because this world fills the mind with desires, which creates inquiries to fulfill their desires. But a devotee is not so much interested in such desires. People in this world, whenever they inquire something, what is the basic basis of all those inquiries? They want to be happy. That's what is the basic thing. One time there was a small child. He went to school and a teacher was asking everyone, what do you want to become? Somebody was saying, I want to become doctor, engineer, lawyer, CA, and all that. One boy said, Madam, I want to be happy. So this teacher said, oh, child, I think you have not understood the question. So this boy said, Madam, I think you have not understood life. Because ultimately, by all our inquiries, by all our endeavors, we want to be happy. And when people, they see the variety in this world, they think this will give me enjoyment. As we can see in this purport, all the animals, even in heaven, the enjoyment is the most important thing. Animals are also enjoying, devtas are also enjoying. But when we start practicing spiritual life, start practicing bhakti, we start cutting through the veil of glamour of the world. And we start realizing how superficial the happiness of this world is. As Krishna stamps this world as dukkhalayam, it's a place of misery. And people, they think it is not so bad. Even if they are told, oh, this world is dukkhalayam, man, it is not so bad. There is happiness. Maybe you suffered, that's why you are thinking like this. What all things people inquire about in this world? People inquire about how to get wealth. Because it seems that wealth can give happiness. Everybody knows wealth can't give happiness, but still everybody thinks I want more and more wealth. Because subtly, this is a very, very important conception that wealth will ultimately bring me happiness. Because by this wealth, I can buy whatever I want. And the entire world is full of propaganda. It's like rivers enter the ocean. The desires are entering our minds and through advertisement, social media. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvad kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakamakami. Krishna says, it's like rivers enter the ocean, the desires enter the mind of people. But there's a difference between the response of a materialist and a devotee. A materialist, he is kamakami, he is desirer of the desires. I want more and more desires to enter so that ultimately I can fulfill them, so that I can ultimately be happy. But a devotee knows, na kamakami, devotee is not at all interested in desires. He is not the desirer of the desires. Even though the desires enter the mind of the devotee, he is not disturbed because his mind is full of the ocean of devotion. His heart is full of devotion. And just like rivers enter ocean, ocean never overflows. A devotee's mind is not disturbed. So to the extent our mind and our heart is full of Krishna, the thoughts of Krishna, the desires of the world will not trouble us. Otherwise, wealth, the more the wealth one gets, more he wants. Bhagavatam describes whatever you do with the wealth, it creates disturbance. अर्थस्य साधने सिद्धे उत्कर्षे रक्षणे व्यये नाशोपभोग आयासस्त्रासश्चिंता भ्रमो निराम. Arthasya sadhane, in earning wealth, siddhe, after attainment, utkarshe, increasing, rakshane, vyaye, nasha, expense, upabhoga, enjoyment. Anything you do with it, you will get 4 things free. Ayashas, tras, chinta, and bhrama. Intense labor, fear, anxiety, and delusion. So the wealth of this world, it creates anxiety, distress, illusion, labor, and most importantly, it creates pride. It degrades the consciousness of the person who has wealth. If the materialist gets wealth, he is blinded because of the pride. It comes in the 4th canto when Sati, she wants to go to her father Daksha because he has arranged a big sacrifice. Everybody's going and Lord Shiva is not invited. Sati goes to Lord Shiva and says, everybody is going to attend my father's sacrifice. We should also go. Lord Shiva says, but we are not invited. But it doesn't require an invitation to go to the house of friends and relatives. Lord Shiva says, that's okay. But if the host is angry, then you should never go. And Daksha is angry. Sati says, my father is a very wise man. He will not become angry. Lord Shiva says, because he is blinded by the wealth he has. He's blinded by 6 things he has. Lord Shiva speaks very powerful words. Vidya tapo vitta vapo vayokulai satam gunai shadvira sattametara smrito hatayam vritamana durdrisha stabdhan pashyanti hidhama bhuyasam. He says, these 6 qualities, vidya, education, tapa, austerity, vidya tapo vitta, wealth, vapu, young body, vaya, a beautiful body, kula, a high worth. These are good qualities. Satam gunai, these are the qualities of saintly people. But the problem is, when these 6 qualities, they manifest in a person who is stabdha, who is proud, he loses all sense of discrimination. And he can't see good qualities of others. So therefore, the wealth of the world creates a massive illusion. And people are inquiring about the wealth of the world because they think wealth will give happiness. But a devotee should also be very, very careful. This pride, it doesn't come just because of wealth. Pride can come because one becomes very attractive in terms of qualities. Oh, I am so skilled. I am so expert. I am a good devotee. That is also pride. One time, one of the Prabhupada disciples, Lakshmi Narasimhadev Prabhu, he was telling that Srila Prabhupada was there in Mayapur and somebody was doing Guru Puja, singing Guru Puja. And he was there. Prabhupada was there and this singer was singing and this devotee was right in front. He was seeing both, Prabhupada also and the singer also. So this devotee, he was a very good singer and he had a reputation of, very, very wonderful singer. And they were a group of Kirtaniyas. They were proud of their Kirtan. And this devotee, he started singing in all the wonderful tunes and it was a performance. And Prabhupada was sitting with his eyes closed. Suddenly he opened his eyes and he said, "Stop the Kirtan." And Kirtan was going at speed. Everybody just froze. What happened? There was another devotee, Nitai Chand Goswami. He was standing in front of Lakshmi Narasimhadev Prabhu. Prabhupada told him, "Nitai Chand, you lead Kirtan." So this devotee, Nitai Chand, he was not a very wonderful singer like another devotee. But Srila Prabhupada could sense the pride in that singer. He was very peculiar. Srila Prabhupada was very peculiar about the mood in leading Kirtan. It is not a performance. We are not, when somebody is singing, it is not that, "Oh, I am singing such wonderfully." It is for the pleasure of the Lord. So this devotee, Lakshmi Narasimhadev Prabhu, he was contemplating that. Prabhupada did not like the trace of pride, any kind of orchestration. So we have to be very careful in our practice of devotional service. What is the impetus for our practice? Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult to advance in spiritual life. We will spend years and years. But what is the impetus? By our skills, by our capabilities, by our speaking ability, by our managerial ability, what are we trying? Are we trying to humbly serve Krishna or are we trying to prove ourselves a better devotee? The wealth of the world, people, they are inquiring about the wealth of the world, but that intoxicates. We hear the story of Nalakuvar and Manikriva. They were the sons of Kuvera. Rudrasyanacharo Sudripto Dhanapinyo they were roaming in the class and eyes rolling they're surrounded with dancing, singing songs. So when people inquire about the wealth of the world,
Hare Krishna. Oh, Prabhuji got dropped off.
Yeah, it was breaking for everyone though.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Prabhuji had some network issues. So Prabhuji is coming, Mataji. Wait.
Sure, Mataji, Prabhuji is back.
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Sorry, I
Prabhu.
think there are work issues in between. So satisfaction, when people inquire to get the wealth of the world, thinking that it will give me satisfaction, it doesn't give satisfaction. It is a decision we have to make. The varieties of the world will never give satisfaction. The power, sense gratification, relations, whatever you may get in this world, it will never give satisfaction. It will never give the happiness which a person wants. But Hiranyakashipu had everything in his life. Whatever he wanted, he would get. The best of the women to enjoy, best of the facilities, best of the food, best of the liquor. Everybody is born down in front of him. Saitam nirjit kago bekarat vishayan priyan yathopajosham bhunjano na tripyat. Still he was not satisfied. Even if somebody has the best of the relations, best of the family, it will not give satisfaction because the anxiety is so much. Prahlad Maharaj, he tells his friends, oh my friends, the life of a person is full of anxiety. 50 years go in sleeping, and then 10 years in childhood, 20 years in old age, whatever middle 20 years are remaining, people are full of anxiety. When the children, they speak broken language, it is so very attractive. The person is always thinking about his son, his daughter, after she gets married. Oh, is she okay? Is she taken care of properly? He thinks about his old parents. In this way, he weaves a cocoon around himself. Jadeta kosha kritivehamana karmani lobha avitripta kama aupastya jahivam bahumanyamana katham virajyeta duranta moha. Just like a silkworm weaves a cocoon and dies inside, similarly, because this person, this living entity has unlimited desires to enjoy. Karma, nilobha, avitripta kama, his desires are never satiated. So just to fulfill his desires, he keeps running. Avitripta kama. How can such a person be peaceful? Nothing of this world can satisfy. This world is full of varieties. As Chaitanya Charanpur says, a very wonderful statement. Everything attractive comes from Krishna, but not everything attractive takes you to Krishna. When people are attracted by things and the people of the world, when such wonderful description is given in this purport about the higher planetary systems, wonderful description is coming. The type of opulence which they have in heaven, it is unparalleled. But all this beauty, all this glamour of the world doesn't take you to Krishna. It takes the mind away from Krishna. That is the sad thing. Srila Prabhupada and all the disciples, they were on the morning walk on a beach. And one devotee says, Prabhupada, the ocean looks so beautiful from a distance. Prabhupada said, yes. Material energy is like that. At a distance, it looks very, very attractive. You enter inside, it will suck you. It will drown you. So that's how we have to be really careful what we should inquire for. If we don't have to inquire about wealth, relations, sense gratification, even mundane welfare activity, even the power, material power, even liberation. Even liberation cannot give happiness and satisfaction. Mukti mukti siddhi kami sakaliya shant, Krishna bhakta nishkama ateva shant. As Bhagavatam describes, the impersonalists, because they have not taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, they fall down. Yam nirvitaksh vimukta manina vayasta bhava avishuddha buddhaya arubhya krichrena param padam tata patantyadhana dhritayushmadhantrayah. Patantyadha, they again fall down because they don't take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So what we should inquire about? We should also inquire about these things. We should inquire about the wealth. We should inquire about the sense gratification. We should do all these things. But what is the wealth which a devotee should inquire? What should be our focus? What should be the wealth which a devotee should inquire? Because the wealth of the world is full of faults. We are interested in the wealth of bhakti, and we are interested in the wealth of the devotees. That is very, very important. If we are not interested in the wealth of this world, the wealth of bhakti and the wealth of bhakta, the association of devotees and devotion, that is very, very important. We should inquire about the wealth of Krishna consciousness. Krishna was the wealth of Pandavas. Yatra dharam suto raja gadapani vrikodara Krishna stri gandivam chapam surit Krishna tato vipat. Krishna was their everything. Still problem came in their life. Why? It was a plan of Krishna. They never blamed Krishna. They never questioned why you are doing this to us. They always took shelter of Krishna because for them, Krishna was their everything. When Krishna left, it comes in the first canto, the 15th chapter of first canto. Pandavas retired timely. As soon as Yudhishthira Maharaj came to know that Krishna has left, it was as if a person who has invested everything in a bank and the bank goes bankrupt. We can't understand the emotions of the Pandavas when they realize that Krishna has left. Because we don't have that much affection for Krishna. Satsangan mukta dusango hatum notsate buddha kirtyamanam yasho yasya sakrita karnya rochanam tasmanyastadiya partha sahiran viraham katham darshan sparsha sanlapa shayanasana bhojane. If somebody gets association of devotees, satsanga, he becomes free of bad association. They can never live without devotees. What to speak of? If somebody has the wealth of Krishna with him, these Pandavas, darshana, sparasha, sanlapa, shayana, asana, bhojane, they were doing everything with Krishna. Walking with, dining with, moving around, even taking rest while they would talk to each other while sleeping. That was the wealth Pandavas had. And when Krishna is gone, for them, Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virhenme. What's the use of living? We may not be at that level. We can't even imagine to have that level. What we should do at our level of peace, what practical steps we can take to come close to Krishna. To inquire this wealth of Krishna, it begins with sincere prayers. Otherwise, if we are not sincerely praying, Krishna will not give it. This wealth, our acharyas have done so much to give us this wealth. It is like the nectar, This devotee, they give up the opulence of this world to get the greatest opulence of the lotus feet of Krishna. Parijate anjasa labde sarango anna sevate tudangri moolam asadya sakshat kim vrinimahi. Just like a honeybee goes from one flower to other flower collecting little bit of honey. And according to one observation, honeybees in one average sized honeycomb, they tap 2 million flowers. They fly 50,000 miles to make 1 pound of honey. So single honeybee, it makes only 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of honey in his entire life. Our condition is like that. Since millions of lives we are tapping flowers to get honey, but what we get is little bit. But scripture says, if somebody gets the honey which is there in the lotus feet of Krishna, after attaining the lotus feet of Krishna, all the desires are satisfied. Eyante lilasar sutra madhye visatar kari kichu karunu vivaran iha madhye mari jabe varnite na pari tabe ei lila bhakta ganadhan. To give this wealth, all our acharyas, they have really worked hard. Kaviraj Goswami describes in Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, I am describing all the pastimes of Ante Lila in synopsis, in Madhya Lila beginning only. Why? Ante Lila sar sutra madhya visatar kari kichu kari lobivaran. I am giving a synopsis. Why? Iha madhya mari jabe. If I die in between, varnitena pari tabe. Who will describe this? Ei Lila Bhakta Ganadhan. This is the only wealth of devotee. Sheshalila Sutragan Kailu Kichu Vivaran Iha Vistarite Chitta Hoy. Thake Yadi Ayushe Vistariva Lila Sesh Yadi Mahaprabhur Kripa Hoy. Sheshalila, whatever remaining pastimes of Mahaprabhu I have described in synopsis, I want to elaborate it more. Vistarite Chitta Hoy. But Thake Yadi Ayushesh, if I live, I will write more. Yadi Mahaprabhu Kripa Hoy. So for now, what I am doing? Sangshepe ei sutra kila, ei iha na likhila, आगे तहा करे विस्तार. यदि तदि न जिये महाप्रभुर कृपा होए, इच्छा भरी करी विचार. He says, whatever I could write, I am writing in brief. If I live long, I will describe in detail. That is the wealth our acharyas are giving us. That is what we should be eager for. That is what we should inquire for. And what is the price they are asking? Nothing comes free in this world. We have to pay a price for this wealth. What is the price they are asking? They are asking two things: faith and eagerness. Have faith in the words of acharyas. Have faith in the words of predecessors. Etam sa asthaya paratmanishta adhyasitam purvatamai maharshibhi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva. Avanti Brahman is speaking this beautiful prayer. I have this faith. Etam sa asthaya. That is my faith. If I traverse the path which is led by previous acharyas, Urvatamai Maharshibhi, I will also cross. That is a faith we should have. Otherwise, Samshayatma Vinashyati. If we have this unflinching faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada, the words of acharyas, words of authorities, and this is the only thing which is working in this world. Nothing else is worth. This is the only thing which we should hanker for, we should work for. Another thing which they are asking is eagerness. Tatra laulyam api mulyam. Shraddha mulya shuddhanam sayhate tebikai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Surabhi kunje te namirhat kuleche. Oh, he has opened a marketplace of holy name. And what is the price he is asking for? Shraddha mulya shuddhanam sayhate tebikai. He's asking only for Shraddha. He's asking for that eagerness. Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam. One time, one lady, Srila Prabhupada was giving a class in India, and one Indian lady, she got up and she asked, Swamiji, can you see God? It was a challenging question. Prabhupada said, yes, you cannot. So she was a little confused. Prabhupada looked around the room and said, Krishna is everywhere, you can't see. So she was more confused. She didn't know what to do. Prabhupada asked, why you cannot see God? She was like completely getting bewildered. Then Prabhupada asked, do you want to see Krishna? By this time, she was so embarrassed. She looked down and said, no, Swami. Prabhupada said, that's why you cannot see Krishna. Because you don't want to see Krishna. So do we want to see Krishna? So Krishna consciousness is one of the rarest jewels which we have received. We should keep it very, very carefully. If we are not endeavoring for this wealth, then everything else is not worth endeavoring for. Just like Prataparudra Maharaj, it comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He wanted to have darshan of Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord himself. Prataparudra Maharaj surrenders and he says, I want to have his darshan. Can you please arrange? Sarvabhauma, he goes to Mahaprabhu and says, this Prataparudra is such a great king. He's such a great devotee. He just wants to have your darshan once. Can you please give him your darshan? Mahaprabhu says, how can you ask this? He's a king. He's a Vishayi. He's a sense gratifier. Sarvam says, no, no, he is a devotee, oh my Lord. Mahaprabhu says, whatever it may be, the name king is attached to him. That is a disqualification. I can't see him. I can't meet him. And if you tell me again, I'll leave Jagannath Puri, I'll go to Alarnath. So Sarvam, he informs that Mahaprabhu doesn't want to meet you. He becomes so sad. Papi niche uddharite tara avatar jagaye madhaite ho karila uddhar. He says, Mahaprabhu has appeared to deliver fallen souls. Papi niche uddharite tara avatar. He has delivered Jagaya Madhaya also. But it seems Mahaprabhu has appeared in this world with a vow. You know what is the pratigya? Pratap Rudra Chhadi Kariben Jagatanistar, pratigya Kori Kori Achen Avatar. Mahaprabhu has come with a vow that he'll deliver everyone but Pratap Rudra. But no problem. Tara pratigya More Nadi Bedarishan, More pratigya Tara Bina Chhadi Vajivan. Pratap Rudra says, no worries. If he has taken a vow, he will not give me darshan. I also take a vow. If he doesn't give me mercy, I'll give up my life. Because what is the use of my life? What is the use of this kingdom if I can't get mercy of Mahaprabhu? Yadi sai Mahaprabhurna pai kripadhan kiba rajya kiba deha sabo akaran. It is all useless. That is the determination. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport there, this is called Dridha Vrata. That is the determination devotee should have. I want mercy of the Lord at any cost. So that is how we have to understand. We should hanker for the wealth of Krishna consciousness. That is the only wealth we should aspire for. Ekantalabham vachasonupumsam sushlokamole gunavadamahu. Ekantalabh. There is only one benefit we should expect in Krishna consciousness. No other wealth, no other love, no other benefit. What is that? The chance to glorify Krishna, chance to practice bhakti. That is the wealth we should aspire for. What power a devotee should aspire for? The power of this world corrupts. It corrupts the mind, it corrupts the consciousness. But the devotee's power is depending on Krishna's power. As Narasimha Chaturdashi is coming, we hear the story of Prahlad. When Hiranyakashipu rebuked Prahlad, Prahlad, how are you so impudent? He Durvinit Mandatmam Ulabhed Karadhama. He Durvinit, O impudent one, O foolish, unintelligent, you will destroy my family. Stabdham Vashashano Dritvam Neshe Tadyayamakshayam. You have the power and audacity to disobey my orders? Today I'll send you to Yamraj. And says, Prahlad, when I become angry, Devtas tremble. Kruddhasya yasya kampante trayo loka sureshwara. Entire world trembles. And you are not fearful? By whose power you are so fearless? What Prahlad replies. So Prabhupada, one time he was on a morning walk on a beach. Danvir Maharaj, he recalls this. He says, on the beach, there were crabs and they were coming in, they're coming out of the water, going inside the water. And Prabhupada, he told that, these crabs, they have a relationship with water. The elephant cannot go against the waves. But these crabs, because they have taken shelter of water, they can go against the big waves. A little fish can swim against the current because the fish has taken shelter of water. Our power does not come from our strength, who we are. Our strength comes from our connection with Krishna. That's what Prahlad says. Na kevalam me bhavatascha rajan saivai balam balinam cha paresham. O my Lord, O King, O Rajan, not only my strength, na kevalam me bhavatascha. Your strength also comes from the same source, the same Supreme Lord. That is the power which a devotee takes shelter of. It doesn't take shelter of the power of this world. What type of sense gratification a devotee should do? Because material sense gratification will degrade our consciousness. A devotee's sense gratification is only one, to absorb the mind in Krishna Katha. Nayatra Vaikuntha Katha Sudapada, Nasadavo Bhagavatas Tadashraya, Nayatra Yaggesha Makhama Utsava, Suresha Lokopina Vaisha Siddhita. If there is no Krishna Katha, there is no association, there is no festival for the glorification of the Lord, devotee is not interested in staying in that place. No sense gratification of this world can give satisfaction. All the variety of the variegatedness of this world cannot give satisfaction. Only Krishna can satisfy the mind and the senses. Mahaprabhu's pastimes can only satisfy. Chaitanya Gosaira Lila Amriter Dhar Sarvendriya Tripta Hoy Shravanayahar. Mahaprabhu's pastimes can satisfy all the senses. Krishna Katha can satisfy all the senses. Yani Yani Gitani Tadbala Charitani Cha. Another verse to describe that. Whatever Parikshit Maharaj, he speaks this to Shukdev Goswami. Yena yena avatarena bhagavan haririshvara karoti karna ramyani manogyani chana prabhu. Oh, Shukdev Goswami, please keep on reciting all the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. Yani yani gitani tad bala charitani cha, all the pastimes. Because karna ramyani, they are pleasing to ears. They are satisfied. They can satisfy the mind. Nothing else of this world can satisfy the mind, the ears, the senses. Nothing else. Krishna's beauty can satisfy. Because we are hankering to see beautiful things of the world, but the beauty of this world doesn't satisfy, it agitates. Beauty of Krishna, it satisfies. That's why Lord has appeared in this world. That's why he has shown his beautiful form. Swamurtya lokalavanya nirmuktya lochanamnyanam girbhistapitam smartam chittam padaistan kriya. The Lord, when he appears in this world, he shows his beautiful forms. Swamurtya lokalavanya. Beautiful form. He speaks beautiful words to attract the mind of people. He went to so many places and made them pilgrimage places. That's why, that's how Lord is working to bring people close to him. But the problem is, the people of the world, they are not interested in Krishna. They think the sense gratification of this world will give satisfaction. It doesn't happen like that. The form of the Lord can satisfy the eyes. The Krishna Katha can satisfy the ears. And Krishna, he can satisfy all our desires. If somebody goes to Krishna and asks for material things, you know what happens? What Krishna does? Krishna fulfills them and purifies the desires. Satyam dishatyartitam artito nrinam naiva tadoyat punarartitam yataha Swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichyatam ichha vidhanam nijapada pallavam. It is true, Satyam, it is true that arthitam arthito nrinam. If somebody goes to Krishna and asks for material things, Krishna gives it. Naiva tadoyat punararthitam yataha. But he gives in such a way that the devotee will not ask for the same thing again. How he does that? Swayam vidhatte, he gives himself also. He says, I'll also come with my blessings. Devotee says, oh, I don't want you, my Lord. Anichata. Even if the devotee says, I don't want you, Krishna says, it doesn't happen. Doesn't work like that. 1 + 1 3. I come with my benedictions. And when Krishna comes in the life of devotees, Ichha Pidhanam Nijapada Pallavam, the lotus feet of Krishna satisfies all the desires. So that is the power of Krishna Katha. That is power of Krishna's form, Krishna's name, form, pastimes. That is the sense gratification which we should aspire for. What type of relationships the devotee should aspire for? The devotee should aspire only for relationship with the devotees of the Lord. Relationship with Krishna and devotees of Krishna. No other relationship will satisfy the mind. That is very, very important. So that's how in this verse, as it is described about the variegatedness of this world, The the variety of this world just creates desires so that we can enjoy. But desires, the things of the world can't give satisfaction. So we should not inquire about them. Inquire about the wealth of Krishna. Inquire about relationship with Krishna, relationship with devotees of the Lord. That thing will give satisfaction. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any questions anybody has?
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you so much for this very, very wonderful class. And it was very strongly well said that the real happiness of all devotees is only Krishna and devotees, Krishna Sangha, devotees association. And also the explanation you gave that devotees are not happy with anything except Krishna Katha and Kirtan and association. Thank you so much for this
Great. Thank
very
you.
practical class. Vasundhara Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandvat pranams to you. Beautiful class as
Hare.
usual, Prabhuji. So many verses, so many subtle insights. Just that application of those insights in our practice. That's the challenge I'm confronting right now. Prabhuji, during your discussions you said while one desires for these materialistic pleasures, 4 things come along with it. Anxiety, fear, endeavor. Last one, Prabhuji, I mean the 4th one.
Delusion.
Prabhuji? Sorry?
Delusion.
Delusion.
The illusion.
Delusion. You said in Sanskrit to do mind, Prabhuji?
Sorry?
You said in Sanskrit. Would you mind repeating those Sanskrit terms for these 4 of them?
Yeah. Ayashas, Tras, Chinta, and Bhram. Ayashas means labor. Tras means intense anxiety, intense pain. Chinta, that is anxiety, and Bhram, that is illusion. So that is these
Thank you,
4 things
Prabhuji.
come try to inquire, get the wealth of this world. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Second question I had, Prabhuji. In a sadhaka's life, I mean, especially I'm talking about myself, I know I'm far, far way beyond the aspirations. Now, my question, please do excuse me if you find it weird or absurd, Prabhuji. I know where I am. I mean, I appraise myself like the way in corporate it happens for performance appraisals. Similarly, appraise myself. I know very well where I stand. While we are performing, we are performing Uttama Bhakti. I mean, pure Bhakti, but still the anartha is pulling me down. I mean, I can see where I'm going wrong. I try, but still I'm failing, Prabhuji. Now, my question was that, in spite of the failures, in spite of the position where I stand, in spite of my state of mind, what I am, how prudent it is that I pray to Guru and Krishna to help me get the attraction to him, draw me closer to him. While I know where I'm right now, a lot of my anarthas, etc., etc. Is it still, I mean, should I still continue praying for them, or please suggest, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Because I know the goal is to aspiring, but I know I'm nowhere close. I mean, I don't deserve even to, aspire that goal. That's the kind of the distance, I suppose you understand where I am. So what do you suggest, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
As a sadhaka, what we are aspiring for, it is like बामन ऐचे चांद धरिते चाहे करे ऐचे यही वांछा मोरे उठाए अंतरे. Like Rupa Goswami told that just like a dwarf wants to touch a moon, that is how to get Krishna prema. So By our strength, by our endeavor, we can't achieve that. This cannot be achieved by our endeavors. But without endeavor, Krishna will not show mercy. Our endeavor is to attract the mercy of Krishna. And we should never ever hope, give up on ourselves. Whenever problems in our life, obstacles come in our life, our anarthas, they come up, we should always see it as an opportunity to go ahead. We should be happy that Krishna is putting me in this situation. Krishna is showing me my anarthas because he wants me to rise up. If we just keep on condemning, I am so fallen, oh, what is happening to me? It is just like if a soldier is in the battlefield and a bullet starts flying towards him, he says, oh, now I'm defeated. Bullets fly. It is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of attack. And you have to now start acting. When anarthas come up, when some temptations come up, we should not feel that I'm defeated. It is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of start war. We have to become more in our prayers. Many times when we are confronted with our anarthas, our lower side, when we are tempted by wrong things, we feel we are defeated. It is not. It's not defeat of a devotee. It is an indication that now you have to start fighting more intensely. The problem is we equate our anarthas and temptations with defeat. And that creates more guilty consciousness, and we become more and more away from Krishna. Rather than coming closer to Krishna, we go away from Krishna. So all our anarthas, all our temptations, they should make us more and more intense in our prayers, sincere prayers, honest prayers. They attract the mercy of the Lord. We have to intensify our devotion. Then only we'll come out of this. Otherwise, it will never happen. Just condemning ourselves for our wrong things, we are not doing any profit. We are not doing any good thing. It is good to know that I am still fallen. Just think, I am so fallen. I can't do anything. I am useless devotee. I am such a pretender, hypocrite. We can give all sorts of bad words, abuses to ourselves. But that is of no use. Rather than abusing ourselves with our bad things, with our anarthas, we have to just become more and more sincere and serious, intensely praying. Oh my Lord, I want to come close to you. Please show me the way. And our intensity reflects in our chanting. That is where we have to begin. Our sadhana, our swadhyaya, our seva. To improve the quality of these three things. Our quality of chanting, our reading of scriptures, and our services. Then we should not be so much concerned about the anarthas. That is not our job.
No, because they surface during your sadhana, right? Your anarthas are surfacing while you're doing chanting, say worship to the Lord, or your seva to the Lord, right? They're surfacing. You can see them through. So that's when you feel like you're very, very guilty, right, Prabhuji?
No, I think I've shown last time this very hope-giving purport. I'll show again. I'll just share the screen. Prabhupada writes in 4th canto, 29th chapter, 69th verse. This is a very, very wonderful purport, which Srila Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur cites the example of Mother Yashoda seeing the whole cosmic manifestation. We know the Brahmanda Darshan Leela. Prabhupada writes, by the grace of Lord Krishna, Mother Yashoda saw all the universes within the mouth of Krishna. Similarly, by the grace of Krishna, A Krishna conscious person can see all his dormant desires at one time and finish all his future transmigrations. This facility is specially given to the devotee to make his path clear for returning home back to Godhead. That is very, very important to understand. You know,
Prabhuji, can you repeat the verse number you said, Prabhuji? 4th canto?
69.
4?
Again, then Prabhupada. You can just see the slide. I'm sharing the screen. 42969.
Okay.
Then Prabhupada writes, why we see things not experienced in this life is explained. That which we see is a future expression of a gross body or is already stocked in our mental stockpile.
Mm-hmm.
So we should not be scared because, oh, I have so many desires. All these things are coming up. We should understand they are already there. And now by the process of cleansing, they are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So we should just be aware of them, not getting so much disturbed by them. You know, that is important.
Okay. Okay.
And focus on what we can.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandar pranams to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for
Any other
that.
questions?
There are no more questions or hand raised, I see. There are no questions or comments. You can end the call here, Prabhuji, if you're okay.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavatam
Thank you so much,
Jai
Prabhuji.
Kripasindhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a wonderful class as always. Thank you for giving us your association. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
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 Radhe
Thank you,
Radhe.
Prabhuji. Thank you.